Urbek city builder. I'm at the point where I've almost developed the entire map. I've got a few gaps that I have to fill in. Right now, I'm working on this area, and there's a few more small gaps. You can see on the mini map there is some territory that shows green. That is where the forest is. I'm going to build housing where all the forest is. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to knock down all the farmland and I'm going to replace them with housing. So I got a bit of a way to go. Here's some empty land where I'm going to be building some housing. And I got gaps over here where I could build some housing. Not that it's going to matter much. All these trees are going to go, and this, I've been checking on it for a while, so it is kind of leveled up. There might be a few changes I can make. For example, over here I have a building actually not doing so well because it's kind of on the edge. These This type of building right here, they're not good for the game. So I'll probably knock them all down and replace them with the other types of buildings. Like those buildings are good in this area where you're not going to get any growth. Here's an example right over here. And over here, I'm going to eventually knock these all down and turn them into regular buildings. So this is the area that I'm working on right now. It needs a little bit of time in order for the buildings to grow. And the territory that I was last working on is going to be around here somewhere. I know I passed it. You know what it is? It's right here. This is the part that I was working on. So it looks like all the buildings have grown in, except for the ones that are here on the edge. And what I could do is I could take these down because they're not very useful. He needs more leisure and health care. What do we got here? That can go. That can go. These two can both go. So I would take these two buildings down and I would add a park and I would add some healthcare, which will be a clinic. Well, it won't let me because there is another one within the radius. The only choice is to build a bigger clinic or to try and build it somewhere else. So I will try to build it somewhere else. What do we got over here? Over here, I could build it. So we're going to look at these buildings. This is going to be a shanty town. This is gone. Although I could have probably built it across the street because there's an empty space right here. And I'm going to restore the house that was over here. I think it's these grain silos that cause... no, they don't. There is some pollution. I'm not sure what building causes it, but the reason why these don't grow is because there's going to be some pollution in the area. It says over here, one or more pollution. Not sure exactly what causes it. Here's some buildings that are on the edge, so they're going to be difficult to expand. But obviously, when I cut these trees down, it'll be fine. Same thing's going on over here. Here's a university area. The houses around the universities don't do so well. Here's another example where we've got some buildings along the edge. And the key is to put all of the non-housing along the edge. So over here, there is a hardware shop which has tools, and I don't need it anymore. That's for a small town. We've got a much larger town, so I'm going to replace that with a house. And this looks like healthcare. Oh no, it's a bar. You really want the bars over here along the border. but it might affect some of the buildings. So I'm going to check one of these buildings, see if it mentions anything about the leisure. Doesn't say anything about leisure, so I think I could remove that bar. Here's another one. I could probably remove it and the buildings and replace it with a building. I could probably do it. You can see here is some park area that I added, which is why these buildings have green on the roof. Here's a house that is waiting to upgrade. This building's going to have to go. This is Lumberjack. He doesn't have a lot of trees in the area anymore. Looks like there's another building in here. Oh no, that's a bar. These buildings over here are not doing so well because it's mixed in with the university, so they're not going to grow. And like for example, I've got a hospital here. I could move that to where the university is and move the houses to where the hospital is. This is what they call the artist neighborhood, and the buildings don't grow very big, so they're going to stay the way they are. I've already gone through this part of the map. This is actually the old section coming across over here. This is the old section where I started the game, and the buildings became tall a lot more quickly. So you can see that there's some buildings intermixed over here that didn't grow up all the way. And I'm going to click over here. It's because there's not enough buildings in the area. But the question is why? I've got some athletic fields that I could move the athletic fields, but it really doesn't matter because I don't think these buildings need. There's 63 leisure in the area, so I'm just going to remove these and replace them with houses and hope for the best. It's a chapel. So it seems like they're going to survive. They're not complaining that there's no leisure. This is one type of farm. There's actually three types. One is this is what it looks like when you do a better job with your farm. You want to get all these houses in because they produce more. That was obviously an industrial area. This has some of the higher production buildings mixed in, like a food plant. But definitely, I'd say Transport Fever 2 is probably the best city builder. And I still like Cities in Motion 2. Even though it's an old game, you could probably buy it for $5. Okay, this is